Honestly, I can't blame you if you don't remember this, because it was a flash in the pan and ended before it even began. All I remember is Great Khali holding a ceremony and Big Show KOing him. I haven't watched this in so long. Looking back, I'm shocked that they didn't promote this match harder and featured it on a bigger stage. I could just imagine this at SummerSlam, but at least it was good enough for Backlash, right? What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. This is just one of those quick videos. I didn't stop doing them. Rather, my mind ran into a brick wall. I'm going to start running a list of these short videos soon so I could keep them in mind and continue doing them from here on. So if you have any ideas, short videos I should know, just comment it down below. Okay, around late 2006, Big Show experienced burnout. He had been working almost non-stop for 11 years with a few short breaks, and it caught up to him. In order to get the break he sought, Big Show allowed his WWE contract to expire on February 7, 2007. It was a very long time coming, and his departure allowed him to rest properly and pursue other opportunities. It didn't mean Big Show was completely out of wrestling, because a few months later, he was out there wrestling Hulk Hogan. Paul White lost a lot of weight during his hiatus, and even though WWE were asking for him to come back, he didn't budge until early 2008. We all know how Big Show returned as a face and turned heel after 4 minutes. But here, during the Great Khali feud, it wasn't exactly a heel. More of a tweener type, which for Big Show standards is confusing. At least this is how it looks from my perspective, because I wouldn't outright call him a babyface. Great Khali, on the other hand, started off his WWE run strong, but slowly he was falling down the card. He won the world title, had that 2-month run, and after that, he was just... I don't know how to properly describe him. He was a huge threat, but that was diminishing as the months went by. On the March 31st, 2008 episode of Raw, the Big Show came out to speak about the ongoing events. Instead of talking nonsense about Floyd Mayweather, he was about to promise something. Before that could be said, the Great Khali of all people interrupted. The commentary hyped this moment like hell. You can't wrestle chants intensified, and Big Show told Khali to get out of his face. He refused to budge, and so Big Show was ready for a fight. He was out there throwing threats in Khali's way, and it seemed like he listened. But yeah, the match was finally going to happen, and it doesn't seem enticing to some, but on the other side, there's just something about watching two giants ready to kill each other. After the Great Khali made the SmackDown tag division look like jobbers, he grabbed the mic and I assume spoke about the Big Show. Before he could properly finish the promo, he was interrupted. It was essentially an encore of Monday for the most part, except this time the Giant actually acknowledged what he was doing. In light of these two intense encounters, the Great Khali felt it was necessary to put a stop to this, so he held a peace offering of sorts the very next week on SmackDown. Khali gifted him with some of the most pious water from India, scotch. That must be his reaction when they asked him to turn, but the gifts were still coming. He was given a chicken, and best of all, they gifted him a goat. The commentary, though, were struggling to keep a straight face. Now, Big Show was more than thankful for all these gifts. He couldn't describe it, and instead decided to show it by KOing Great Khali. The man handed him a goat, and this is how he thanks him. If I got that goat, well, on this whole ordeal, the Big Show said he wasn't interested in making peace since the very beginning. Offering goats and chickens wasn't the way to win his affection, and a while later, the Great Khali decided to retaliate. Unlike the previous encounter, he stood tall in a huge way. Of course, Big Show didn't take this lightly, but there wasn't much to be done as it was one of those stare downs. So it all come down to this: Backlash in Baltimore. Honestly, I expected worse, but it turned out to surpass my expectations. They quickly started with shoves and strikes, and Khali managed to win this little encounter with a clubbing clothesline. It was a huge part of the match because Khali was persistent on the attack and was dominating the Big Show. He was stuck in a headlock, yet managed to fight through and almost body slam Khali. He was slowly being worn down, but once he broke through, boom! He took a chop to the head. Nonetheless, he bounced back and dropped the Giant with a body slam, but it almost didn't mean much because Khali was going to hit the double barrel choke slam. That wasn't to be, and instead Big Show hit the choke slam for the 1, 2, 3, and that's the match. I was expecting something way worse than what we got, but it was better than that, so that's cool to say. Big Show won this thing and moved on to doing nothing, I guess. Well, Khali, he was out for a while, and that's the feud. Honestly, this was just a little quick thing. They just wanted to get it out of their system, basically. There's just not much to say about this feud. I'm trying to say something right now, but I can't really say much. So I'm just going to leave it at that. At least it didn't overstay its welcome. Alright, what do you guys think of Big Show and Khali's feud? Please comment down below. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit the double barrel choke slam on the like button and perhaps the KO punch on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.